Welcome to the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I'm Danielle D, or Coach Danni D, and I help women to create luxury brands by creating processes and tightening their branding. This is where we talk about how to build your business in a way that allows you to work with ease and enjoy your life. My happy space is spending as much time as humanly possible in my pajamas, and I want to help others to find their happy space while still running profitable businesses. So get comfortable and let's dig in. Hello and welcome to the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I am your host, Coach Danni D, and I am here just trying to help people get into a space of joy and love and fulfillment in their lives. So as business owners, we do not have to grind, struggle, go through all the things to be successful in business. You can be successful in business and fulfilled in your life. So that's what I'm here to talk about. Today, I have a wonderful guest I'm excited to introduce you to. So I have Stefanie Julia, and she is a business coach for online fitness coaches. So getting that help together because we all need that. And she's the founder of Catch Flights and Fitness. You're gonna have to tell me more about that because I love flights and I need to love fitness a little bit more. And profitable passion plus purpose. So through P3, she offers aspiring and existing fitness coaches a clear path to success through one-on-one and group coaching experiences. Her expertise is in guiding them to scale their energy and make more money without spending more time on their business. You know that is the love language of this podcast. So Stefanie, I would love to welcome you, and I want you to tell us a little bit more about yourself and your entrepreneurial journey.
Thank you so much for that intro. I actually kind of get started with what you asked, Catch Flights and Fitness. So hey everyone, Stefanie Julia here. And Catch Flights and Fitness was really created to bridge my two loves, travel and fitness. Once I found that magic of being able to monetize my purpose and my passion, I started teaching anyway. Like I was teaching everybody, like, you got to do this, you got to get in DMs, you got to get you a Facebook group. They be like, Facebook group? Not yes, a Facebook group. And I really loved showing other people how to print their own money. Like I say it all the time. Like if you are an entrepreneur, you just have to tap into your purpose and your passion, which to me was coaching, my love of travel. Like I said, showing people how to print their own money. So all my programs, both fitness coaching and business coaching, have my loves in it. So you ever jump into anything with me, you know you're gonna catch a flight somewhere.
Absolutely love it. You know, anybody who really knows me or follows me knows that, look, I keep the suitcase and the passport ready.
Oh, that's a story for another day, but my dog gave my passport.
No.
I know it's a story for another day, but yeah, that's a whole other.
Oh my goodness! Oh, we gonna have to get into that. But the dog ate the pet. Ooh. Well, just quick on that note, you know, everybody knows Walter, my pup. I call him my self-care manager. Every time I travel, when I come back, I get at least 2 days of cold shoulder.
Aww,
and it's straight petty because he will literally butt up against me and not talk to me. Like he's gonna turn his back to me, but he has to be touching me so that I know that he's there and he is not talking to me. So we could do a whole podcast about the pups.
Literally,
they have their own personalities. They absolutely do. So I'm really excited to hear about, because um in our pre-interview, we talked a lot about bringing excitement into your small business, bringing excitement into your offer. And I just want you to share, with the audience, your perspective on that. Cause I thought it was dope. I was like, wait, what? Like, I never heard it expressed in that way. And I really, I think it's going to be golden.
Okay. So I'll go a little bit. I'll go into what we were really talking about. I was saying how with Catch Flights and Fitness, I merged my two loves, travel and fitness. I knew in order to monetize my fitness coaching business, I had to niche down. I had to niche down, I had to build a community, and I had to create excitement in order to stand out from the crowd. Like something that you hear a lot in the fitness industry. There's so many people doing it, and I'm like, yeah, there are. But what makes you different? Like, there's nobody. I haven't come across nobody that has anything like what I offer in Catch Flights and Fitness. So when you niche down, you make your ideal client feel seen, heard, recognized. That magnetic energy is so like intoxicating that when you do end up talking to them or inviting them into your community, or just having a conversation in the DMs, which is, one of my favorite things is just getting in the DMs and talking to your people. It makes it so much easier when y'all have something that you both love to talk about. Like one of my first questions I ask people when I meet them is like, "What's your plans for the summer? You going anywhere fun?" No. What if you did? If you're not, where would you want to go? Like, like, let's dream a little bit. It makes it so much easier to have those conversations, and I feel connected with my community when I do.
So you said about enjoying the conversation in DMs, and I know a lot of people have DM strategies, and a lot of times DM strategies can be kind of, icky, can be a little icky, feel a little spammy. How do you approach it in a way that brings across your authenticity and that really makes that connection with your ideal client?
So I'm gonna be real with you. I have my DM strategy is built off of my community. So I don't believe in the spamming and hey, join my challenge, or hey, join my free group. Like, you don't have to do that. People are going to want to join what you have going on. Just if you, like I said earlier, have that excitement piece to it, they're going to want to know how to be a part of it on a consistent basis. So the way that I leverage the DMs to like book calls and take them to the next step, the very first step is the community. So when people join my community, I welcome them as if they're coming to my networking event. So it's like they walk in, let's say it's the Facebook group, which I'm a lover of the Facebook group, but I say community because you could create community anywhere. But whenever they join your community, you welcome them in. A lot of people don't do that with their Facebook group. And it baffles me because if your community was like on Telegram and they join Telegram and you see that name pop up, you would actually say, "Hey, Steph, I'm so happy you are here. What brought you to our community?" But on Facebook, people are like,
Right.
like, I want to talk to them. They might think that I'm spamming them. No, they just entered your community. And I always teach utilizing those membership questions to help you start the conversation. So if it's not, if you do feel a little off by it, like, use the membership questions to start that conversation. But everybody that comes in, no matter if they fill out the question or not, they get a nice welcome from me, and I ask them, what brought you here? What's going on in your world? Like, just have a conversation. And if you have a offer a program that solves a problem for them, it is you are obligated to help them and be of service. That's like a whole nother topic right there, because like purpose to me, I'm very purpose driven, I'm very service oriented and solution based. So if I have a solution for your problem, why would I keep that to myself? You
Right.
know, just inviting. If they're not in a place to join, like, hey, I did my job and I invited. But first, I had to find out if they even have a problem I can solve.
And in all of that, what I heard was being genuine.
Mm.
And the reason why I say that is because I do feel like, from experience of, you connect with somebody, because of whatever reason brought that initial connection, and then you get that, that spammy response, and it's like it like it's a form thing. It doesn't feel like you thought about that person, and that's why a lot of times there's that disconnect. And so I think sometimes we will throw out certain methodologies or tools because of how we've seen them used poorly.
Ooh, yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because, I know I have a personal hang up with it, using it as a tool. And you just said some stuff that like just opened my mind, but because of how it's been used on me. And I'm like, you send that LinkedIn, or you send that, join this group, and then all of a sudden it's like bam, 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 bam. And I'm like, wait, I just got here. I didn't really say hi yet. And um you just went in for you was just like join my, and I'm like, I don't, okay, hey,
Mhm.
hi, like,
I
hi.
got a story for that one, because if there's someone right now in my DMs and in my text messages, because I gave them my phone number when I signed up for their email list, that I was very interested in, but now they completely turned me off because of how aggressive their reach is. And I actually, I won't go in on them too much, but we both market our services the same way, but the energy behind how they market it is not my way. It's a
Right,
very masculine energy, and I'm more of, I like to flex I flex both. We can't help but have the masculine energy. That's how we grew up. Like, I can't ignore my 36 years of being
right,
groomed in that energy, but I can practice and use my feminine power to really, like, oh, I can culture a really dope community by just being myself, and not using the word community lightly, right?
right,
Like, it's not a group to me. It's I'm creating a community. When people join my in the P3 community, there's a conversation I had recently that stands out to me, and I didn't realize I was doing it. It really it validated, like, okay, I'm not just saying this, I'm doing this. And she came into my Facebook group, and when she came in, I shot her my typical welcome message. I do have a typical welcome message that I use for everybody. But I went to her page and I saw it was her business anniversary, and I just congratulated her. It was 4 years in. I was like, "Go ahead, girl. That's stamina. Like, I'm proud of you." And she was so moved by just that simple 2 seconds of legwork. I guess it wasn't even. I was just curious about this new community member and what she had going on, and went to her page and wanted to congratulate her, as if she was wearing, she walked into my networking event saying 4 years in, yesterday was my anniversary day or whatever. And that's how I use social media. And I mean, it's working for me.
no, I love that, because I am a big connection person. And I'm just in this short conversation, I'm like, oh, you got a whole blind site when it comes to your Facebook group. You gotta, you like, that light bulb just went off, and it's like, oh, that is another community, you know. And so, but I am a big believer of connection and authentic connection, because you know, I tell people all the time when we talk about networking and going to networking meetings, like, stop paper cutting people in the eye with your business card. Like, slow down. Slow down. Like, you know, there's a lot of people whose business card is at the bottom of my purse and it's never going to resurface until I get ready to clean out the purse. But there are people who I've known for years and I don't even know if I have their business card, but we have a genuine connection. And so those are the people I think of if somebody were to say, hey, you know, I need someone who is doing this. If I, you know, were to speak to a fitness trainer and they're looking for a coach, then I'm like, oh, well, Stephanie, let me connect you, because I've made a connection with that person. And so I think sometimes we get caught up in the numbers of it all, or, you know, we have this objective, and, you know, connection is a long game. It's not it's not, hey, I met you today, buy this thing. Like, it doesn't work like that.
So I will say, because I do teach the short game and the long game, because some people come in ready, and that Facebook group, it so the DM strategy. This is I'm trying to figure out how I want to share this. The DM strategy that I teach, they can do that pre-launch. So like there's a fitness coach right now, my girl Crystal. She just launched her Facebook group and she's seeing the power of how that Facebook group is just having conversations. Like, get to know your ideal client. Make sure that's actually the person that you want to work with, that they do have the problems that you assumed when you created your avatar, and that they believe you're the solution and why. And like having those conversations pre-launch is a confidence booster. So she's like overwhelmed. I was talking to her yesterday. She's overwhelmed with the amount of conversations she's having every day, but is being filled up every day before she launches her program. I'm like, I can't wait to see when you launch your program, because you're having all these like connections. And when she does go to launch, it's the reason why I said like the DM strategy can be so quick that you could have asked maybe 5 questions and now you're booking a call. So back when I was creating or not creating, but like in Catch Fights and Fitness, really using the DM system to grow that program, the I would book calls from someone joining. Actually, I'll give it a different way. From someone joining the group, they would become a client within a few days. It's just it was, if they were ready, right? Like, I'm not
Right.
saying everybody that joined my group became a client. I wish, but not everyone needed my help. Not everyone was mentally prepared to have that level of support. But I invited pretty much, I would say probably like at least half of them to come to the next step. But the reason why I want to share that is it can be a long game or a short game depending on where you are in your launch blueprint.
Yeah. And I totally agree with what you're saying. I think when I say like the short game, I guess I meant more skipping over that connection piece. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Drop the link, those ones.
yeah, like, it's just like, hey, you know, hey, bam, boom, boom, you know, because like you said, there are some people that are ready. And I like what you said earlier about the fact of the responsibility to present the offer. You know, if you have the solution, if this person is clearly saying, I have this problem, and you know that you have the solution, then it's your duty to say, hey, I have this solution for it, tailor-made for this problem that you have. But sometimes we're not even waiting for that much. And you know, you're missing, you know what I'm saying? You're missing the whole potential, because you don't know if this person is warm, cold, hot. you just went in hot, and now even if they were warm, they probably switched to cold because you came on a little too strong too fast. And again, just that point of genuine connection, because you know you are, like you say, you're going and you see, oh, this person has something to celebrate, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And I know I would be like, well, say, well, you just met me, you looked me up, like,
Want to feel seen. Everybody wants to feel seen. I know I do. Like,
yes.
yeah, so I'm like, let me they graced my presence. Let me stop. But like they came into my community because they wanted to be in my community. The level of like I'm actually like I feel it in my spirit right now, getting emotional. Like when you say, "Hey, Steph, what you created is dope," I just want to be a part. That to me is like,
It's
oh my,
like, what, you like the
you
things
like me?
I like. No, but it's so true when people like give you that feedback, because sometimes it's entrepreneurs, we're trying to figure it out. We're trying to make it work, and you don't always know that it's working. Like sometimes you feel like, man, I've been doing this and I'm not really seeing, hearing, and then you get that confirmation and you like, oh, or you realize that, like, there are people that maybe not, are liking, but they are watching and they are, consuming. Oh, remember when you said this? And I'm like, was you in the back room? Where was you when I
Yeah.
said this? Because I've never seen you anywhere in my
People, oh my gosh, yo. So there's someone in my DMs right now that I had to tell her, I was like, you are keeping me going right now, sis. Like, it was like the universe literally plopped her down, and was like, you know what, you need this right now. I see you. It's all right. We gonna get there, but you need
yes.
this right now. And I would not have her like her energy exchange. That energy exchange. She is not a client, and what she said to me literally gave me as if she signed up to my like gave me the energy exchange I needed. And the only reason why I have that connection with her is because I created a community.
Right.
Like you need to create a community. And I remember you were telling me before we jumped on here about the podcast you just did with building your tribe. Do you know that community you're building can be a rendition of your tribe?
Right.
Yes, you're as the leader of that community, maybe they're not the same tribe members that you need in order to like be able to get through those hard moments or whatever, but they're going to start telling you, you're going to get on a live and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I needed to hear this today. And you're like, oh, so this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay. Like this is
No, that is so true though. You are so absolutely right. That is so true. Um, you know, shameless plug, go back and watch the episode about creating a tribe. But that is so true, because there have been moments just like what you're talking about. To be honest with you, like if I'm going to bring it all the way back, I would not be coaching if it had not been for certain people in my DMs
Mm,
that were a part of my community, that that were just like, you are feeding you're feeding this into me, or that would pull me aside and ask certain questions, and, well, how did you do this and how did you do that? And there were pivotal times where I was just like, Lord, I feel like you said to do this, but I don't really all the way know that this is what I want to do. That a DM hit and I was like, oh, okay,
yeah.
after I get out my feelings, I'm gonna get back to work. And,
Thank you.
like after I pick all my feelings up off the floor.
One at a time, sis. One at a time.
Look, then I'm gonna get back to work. And I actually had somebody, tell me, and I saw this person relatively recently, and I shared it with them. I said, because I asked, in within my greater community, I'm like, y'all come to me about stuff that like y'all are in somebody else's community. Y'all come ask me questions about things going on in, that space or whatever, but you're paying this person. Like, why do you not go to this person and ask these questions? And she said, because I feel like you're ours. Yeah, that face. That's what happened. I was like, well, I thought I was saying something, but then again, I just got handed back my feelings. Let me go sit back and figure out how to move forward. But it that community, know that as members of community, the listeners here, everything, as members, you feed into us, you know, just as much as we are feeding out. Like, don't sleep on what you're bringing, because that's what community is. And that's again, if you go back to that episode about tribe, I talked about the fact that you have to really look at tribe as it is a mutual relationship, regardless of how you come to it. There may be a leader of the tribe, depending on what the, situation is, but that does not mean that everyone there is not responsible for feeding into one another as tribe members.
Yeah. I mean, you know what you just made me realize, and this is a message to the people listening right now, is be the tribe member that you want to be. Same as be the client that you want to be. One of the most powerful things, and this is a fitness coach, as a fitness coach that was still on their fitness journey, having fitness clients while still having to show up for my own fitness coach. Be the community member, the client, the tribe member, all that you want to be, because that energy exchange comes in so many different forms. Like, don't I'm like, do I want to be this harsh right now? Like, don't.
No, look, they met me before. I step on toes. Go ahead. You have permission. You have been welcomed in, and you have permission.
Y'all, she gave me permission. So what I really want to, and it's like so strong on my heart right now, so I feel like I have to say it, but sometimes coaches want to create programs and coach clients and all this, but you don't want to do the work yourself. Like,
Ooh,
how many
ooh,
times have you signed up for a coaching program, of course? And we were just talking about. That's why I'm like, girl, it's hurting,
Go
but
ahead and say it. Say it.
right, I gotta be of service. Um, be the client that you want to be. Don't be out here inviting people into a program that you wouldn't even like. You're not even doing the work, right?
Right.
Like, do the work, do the legwork. Stop doing the whole comparison stuff. Like, do the work that you want your clients to do. Anytime I start to have especially in my fitness coaching business, anytime I started to attract clients that really weren't showing up, I had to go look at myself. Like, am I showing up? Am I showing? And I'm always going to show up for them, but am I showing up for myself? Well, how am I going? How am I over here telling them they need to do X, Y, Z? They smell it. They smell it. Like, they know good and well when you're not showing up for yourself and when you're not investing time, energy, and money in yourself. They
That
know.
part. That
So,
part. And
like,
it is very crazy to me when I see people who I know don't believe in investment, don't believe in self work, trying to lead other people down a journey. Where we going? Because if you can't work with you and deal with you, And to, and to be honest about the fact that, we talked about this before we got on the call, just there is no summit. You know what I'm saying? There's no point where you get to and you're finished.
Drama.
I know.
You're
I
like,
know.
uh,
I
but
know. But the reality is it's fluid, and you're gonna always be working towards something. And when you can be honest about that, the great thing is that you help more people in that process of being able to be honest about that. Just earlier today, I had a conversation, my close girlfriends, we got a group chat, and we lifing together in a group chat.
Mhm.
And I was struggling with focusing this morning. I had this to-do list. I got some stuff to finish, and I was just letting that to-do list wreak havoc on my brain. And so I'm sitting there struggling with that. And lately I've been listening to this, like, mellow, almost like spa type music. And it just calms my brain. I don't know what it is. I don't know why, but it calms my brain, and it helps me when I can't focus, because it makes me feel like I'm supposed to be calm. And then it makes the crazy thoughts feel like they need to go, because I'm like, well, I can't be running around with a chicken with my head cut off in the spa. That doesn't make sense. So it calms me, right? And
Mhm.
so it so happened one of my girlfriends said something. She was stressing herself out about something, and she mentioned it. And I told her, I said, this is the affirmation I just said to myself. Everybody in the group chat was like, I needed to hear that this morning. It was my own stuff. They was like, can you see me? You over here inside my head. I'm like, I'm talking to myself. Like, real talk. I'm talking to myself. If it's helpful to you, it's helpful to you. But ultimately, I'm talking to myself. And if I'm being honest, a lot of this whole podcast series, I'm talking to myself. I know that if I talk to myself, it's going to resonate with someone else, because we back to community. We are a community. We have, commonalities, but ultimately I have to always be willing to talk to myself. I have to always be willing to be open to hear things for myself, not just to spout things to other people.
I
We are work in progress. And that transfer of energy is amazing when you are open to the fact that anywhere and anyone can have some effect on your improvement.
I love that. Um, I just literally was just thinking about, and I know y'all not gonna be able to find this because I think this is probably gonna air way after. But yesterday I posted something that was like really a story. It wasn't nothing polished. It wasn't based off of a content formula or like how to write a post that converts. It was not one of those posts, y'all. It was something that I needed to say. It was like something I needed to just get off my chest. I was so in my head that someone had, like, people had encouraged me to post it anyway, because I was like, this doesn't even, like, it's not a content piece, like it's not. And my page is for my business and all this stuff. When I tell you that I finally posted it, and it has gotten so much traction. People are sharing it. It has nothing to do with that. Like, it wasn't even a encouragement for, it had an encouragement piece to it, but it was like one sentence at the bottom. Like, let me get
Right.
real. It was about me. And it was about me showing how to make courage leaps. So like, I shared a piece of my story that's going to be coming out more and more over the next probably year, because there's a lot. We got a lot. We got a lot to unpack it. But in the presence of, like, create your blueprint. That was like the message. Create your blueprint now, so that when life happens, you're not, you know, caught by surprise. Like, oh crap, I'm gonna have to like put something down or something like that. Nah, you have a blueprint to keep moving. But the reason why I bring it up is because it was me literally just telling them what happened that day. And sometimes we get in our heads that we gotta do X, Y, and Z in order to be around our people. Like, think about it. When you talk like online coaching is really in person coaching, you see how crazy it is when we put our thoughts, because it's like, so you would go to a networking event and literally sit in the corner and not talk to anybody and like put your hood on and just be like, I don't want to,
Right, right,
because that's how people are acting in social media. Like you, but it's a networking event. It's the largest networking event, the one that is 24/7, always open, and you're just there to share. Sometimes you're the keynote speaker at that networking event.
right,
Sometimes you're just in the audience and in the crowd.
right. But I think it's the realness. It's
Mm.
it's it's the realness. And you know, I've shared this previously with like some of my sister coaches. You know, I'm like, okay, I see your content, I see this, I see that. Where where are you? You know, on both of my businesses, my balloon business, my um coaching business, if I go back, like sometimes I'll go into my posting app and like just see, let me repost something that, you know, and I'll order everything by the most interactions.
Hmm.
The top like page and a half is always like pictures of me and my family.
Yeah, your story.
And it could be something as simple as like on my balloon page, I don't really post a lot of like personal stuff, but like let's say we are on vacation, so we close for the week, you know, I'll post that we're closed for the week and they'll have a post like that, and then I'll post another post of like me and my family like doing something on vacation.
Hmm.
One post, it not even that deep of a caption, and just move on. That's going to get like a billion times more likes than anything else that I post. And it's something about that realness, because we want to see, you know, we want to see that. We want to see that you're human. We want to see that you're a person. And then it kind of goes back to the genuineness that we talked about before, because otherwise it just feels like transactional. You know, if you just like always it's just business, 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 it kind of becomes transactional. But when people get to know you, you know, that goes back to the know, like, and trust. People get to know you, they're like, I like this person. I like what they're about. I am bought into their story, both their personal story, their brand story. I am connected. You know, we're back to that connection. And you know, it's important. And you know, like I realized even in doing this podcast, like, you know, I started it on a whim. I didn't know if I was gonna like it. I was like, I don't really listen to podcasts, to be honest with you. I'm starting. But it's not because I don't like them. I actually do, but like I will forget like to do it. Like I think I need to put alerts on or something like that. But neither here nor there. I'm not a big podcast person, and when it was suggested to me, I was like, I'll try it.
Oh man, you're so good at
Mm,
it.
Thanks.
You're so,
Thanks. But I fell in love with it because it was a space just to be.
yeah. Like
Just
this.
to be, no thought, no pretense. Like I don't you know, I do one guest episode a month. I do the rest solo. I wake up in the morning and I pray real fast, and then I just go with whatever's on my heart that morning. You know what I'm saying? That's just kind of how it goes. But I think that that's the deepest point of connection, because it's just It just is. There's no overthought. There's no getting in my head or, I told a previous guest, I'm like, I don't listen back to episodes. And people think that that's weird, but I'm like, it's because if I listen back, then I will overthink it and then it will inhibit my freedom. And I like the freedom because I think the freedom creates greater connection.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This like unpolished, just literal, just conversation. I said things today that I did not think I was gonna talk, right? Like
Always, always. I just be talking and I'm like, did you say that?
but it's
Did
is
you really say
dope.
that? And I'm like, I guess I did. I'm like, I meant it though.
Yeah, being truthful and honest.
I meant
But it's great. I love this. I love the opportunity to even like share because you don't really get that many opportunities to do that in the business building world, especially where we are. Like it's just you got to get out there and just go live. You just got to talk to your people. Like I know we keep going back to this, but through the Facebook community, through DMs. I even do it a lot through so I teach like challenges, both paid and free. The paid ones, they come like I insert myself all the time and like my methodology. And this is the same thing that I teach my fitness coaching clients. It's like insert your thing. My thing for my challenges are emotional weight loss. Like
it.
physical weight loss, yeah, we all got that check. We need to work out, we need to eat right. But if that's all that it took, then
Then everybody
we
would
all
be,
be
look,
skinny. We all be little tiny little things, right? Because of how much right? It's so much deeper than that. But that's my thing, right? Like you have your thing and you should be inserting that in everything that you do so that people understand you. What is it? Know, like, and trust you and all
mm-hmm.
that. But the reason why I bring up the challenges because there was a story right at the top of my mind a second ago. Almost didn't share it, but it's real. It's like I feel like
Don't look, we don't hold back. Just
well, because I was like, I didn't want to get us off track. Like,
there
again,
is no track
I
here,
know there's no
girl. I just
track.
need you to know there is no, and for a reason. I allow it to flow how it flows because I feel like, you know, God is using us to speak to people and he brings up what somebody needs to hear. And, when this airs, there's going to be somebody sitting there that needed to hear that story. And just like real quick, there was a DJ one time and he was saying like when Yolanda Adams' Open My Heart came out, in the queue, it came up and he dismissed it and it came up like 3 times in the queue during his set and he finally let it play and he was speaking to somebody else about it and they said somebody needed to hear that. And so tell your story.
So, I was like, how you gonna go from open? It's fine. So the story I wanted to share was a lot of lately I've been embracing this unlikely fitness coach, this unexpected fitness coach energy that I've been stepping into because I've always no matter where I was in my fitness journey, whether I was like going to CrossFit competitions level or over here on a struggle bus to even run for 90 seconds at a time. Wherever I was a fitness coach. Like like I've been doing it for 9 years now. So I always knew my value. Like I knew my shit, right? Like I knew my stuff. And I knew that what I had to teach was going to help someone. So I never doubted it. That never happened until I really started getting into social media marketing. And
Mm.
talk about this right before, where it's like literally you'll
Oof.
get calls like, "You ready for this? Are you ready for the next level?" So right before I launched Catch Flights and Fitness, I ran a paid fitness challenge. That's my thing of like lead. That's a paid lead gen activity that
Mm-hmm.
so I ran a paid fitness challenge, and it huge return. Like it was great, a great experience, but it was not without its judgment and
Mm.
literally, I don't really care for the term like you got your haters or whatever, but yes,
Mm-hmm.
literally to the point where someone sent me an anonymous email and was triggered by the fact that I was charging money for a program when I was visibly not to her standard of what a fitness coach looks like.
Oh.
And yes, sent me in a email that they delete. Like I don't know how they do it, but like they took the Google account down, so I couldn't respond. It was a long email, right? Like I was like, girl, you had time. but
Right.
but
Right. Talk to your therapist about this.
it was money triggers up in there. There was stereotypes of it. It was a lot of stuff. And what I decided to do was tap into my community. So
Mm.
I went live, shared the whole email, shared how it made me feel. Like it literally went wrong, was like I was in tears. Like this really hurt me, but it's also motivated me to keep going so that people who look like me
Are not receiving
are
this.
they are.
Ooh.
So I don't just believe like anybody that comes into the fitness industry, you're going to be judged. I don't care what you look like. I'm gonna be honest. It doesn't matter if you're skinny, if you're a chick with muscles. I've had people come at me when I looked like I belonged in I did CrossFit. So always say like CrossFit competition. Like I had a CrossFit body. And people would judge me for that as well. Like you gonna get it either way. So get to work. So there's anybody listening right now that does not look like the typical fitness coach, and I got a stat for you in a second. It's crazy, but a typical fitness coach doesn't always have to be overweight. There's only 10% of the health and wellness and industry that are Black women.
Wow.
It's messed up, right? We need to be seen. More people need to see us and know that hey, you can move in this way. You can be of value, you can be of service, even while you're still on your journey. It's the same thing for life coaches. Yo, we be healing. We be on healing journeys.
Look, every day. Every single day.
I just really wanted to share that because I feel there's so many people, like I talk to so many fitness coaches that are scared to just put their offer out there, put their even just their value out there, just teach, even if it's a little bit at a time. Build those courage leaps and tap into. We keep talking about community. Tap into your community. When I say I went live, the energy that I got from that live, just I only talked about it at one time. Did I go viral or something off of that? Like no. Did I don't remember if I got like extra sign. What I remember is they filled me right back up. That girl brought me down. She did it. She did it. She did it. But they brought me right back up. And I just kept it moving. So have that community.
I want
Build.
to say two things to that. One, I'm going to bring it back to the comment that had me on the floor, which was, you're ours. You're somebody's. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You are somebody's, and you continuing your journey is speaking to a somebody. And I believe when God gives us an assignment, he also assigns us people.
Ooh.
And when we don't show up, those people are just waiting. And so I agree with you. It ain't always easy. And there's always going to be people who have something to say. But what I've learned for my own ability to show compassion is that those people got a whole lot more healing left to do. They just not as far along on their healing journey. And the second thing that I wanted to say kind of, just butts up right behind that of we have to learn how to allow people to be different than us. One of the things that it infuriates me is that we can't be settled and just I like this and you like that. And we got to make everybody come along the journey with us. You may not have been the right fitness coach for that person. And obviously, again, they got a lot of healing left to do. That they got time to sit up here and write this whole thing, make a fake account, delete the account. Like that's a whole lot of time spent on something that you could have just scrolled right on past.
Exactly.
But understand that, I started saying this in my personal life, right? You hear it all the time in the business world. They're not your target audience. But I started saying it in my personal life as well. So sometimes when something happens and I'm like, this don't make no kind of sense. And then I'll just say, you know what? I'm not their target audience. This wasn't meant for me. It might make perfect sense to somebody else. But to me, it doesn't make sense because it wasn't meant for me. And everything is not meant for you. So for me, if I'm scrolling through and I'm like, look at this beautiful Black woman doing fitness. Let me go. Dust off my sneakers real quick.
That's how it
And
is.
get my life together. That, so that might speak to my soul, and it does. It may not speak to your soul. That might not be your person. Maybe your person, is a size 2 and blonde hair, blue eyes. Maybe that's your person. But that ain't my person. And to be honest, I'd rather see somebody that looks more real. Because for me, I'm like, oh, okay. I know you said you had a CrossFit body. I don't have those aspirations. I do not. Now I respect it, but at the same time, it's like I'm more concerned with health than like I know I ain't the diehard. It's a necessity. It can be enjoyable. I've had some good experiences. It can be enjoyable, but I'm not I have a former coworker that kind of lives in my area, but not really close. And one day on a very, very hot day, I went outside and I was like, where's you going? She said, oh, I'm on my walk. So where? Cause I said, you want some water? Cause it's hot out here and you don't live right here. And she said, well, no, I'm going to go to this other place that's like about 2-3 miles in the other direction. She said, that's where I usually stop and get my drink break. And then I was like, well, good day to you because I'm sweating. So I'm going to go inside. But it was good seeing you. But know what where your space is and be comfortable, because that's another healing part is healed people are not uncomfortable with other people being different.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just like that. Look, I know that floats her boat. And I was like, girl, well, you enjoy. I wasn't gonna go with her. But I'm not gonna hate on it either. That's something that she enjoys doing. So we have to be able to allow people space to be.
Absolutely. Like there's fitness coaches who will Okay, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Shout out to Stephanie Rouse. I love her. She's a mindset coach and a fitness coach. When she first started really like honing in on her niche, you could tell she wanted to flex the mindset coach, but couldn't really see how to bridge her two loves, right? But because everybody else had this huge transformation, like other fitness coaches usually have their own story, their own transformation journey, and it's on like the fitness side. Well, her transformation was on the mindset side.
Mm-hmm.
Like, girl, share your story. Like, they want to hear that. Do you know? Like, so many people. I want you guys to realize you do not know everything that everybody's thinking about. Like, I have so many conversations because y'all hear I love me a DM conversation. So I have so many conversations with fitness coaches and fitness clients who are more geared to mindset work than actual. They know, hey, something's not right, because if all I needed was some workouts and a meal plan, I would have been set. Something else is up. And so I was like, the your story is actually your superpower. Like, you have a mindset transformation that these coaches that have a physical transformation may be leaning so hard on their physical, forgetting that their emotional, their mindset is the real story. I'm like, go, like, take your fit tail and and go and share this amazing story and talk about it until, like, don't stop. That's all. Until that's it.
Okay, so what I heard from that was trust and embrace your story.
Oh yes.
Trust and embrace your story. And oh goodness, I don't even remember who I was talking to the other day about that trust, about having that trust in your story and trust in yourself. Because, one thing that I've learned is in all the world and all the millions of people that are here, somebody got something in common with you.
Oh yeah.
Somebody has something in common with you. So if you feel this way, or if this was the thing that gave you the aha moment, it's also going to resonate with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And so trust that and stop trying to be for everybody, because you're not. You're for who you are for, and focus on that, and stop, like in the fitness world. I totally see where you're coming from, like the transformation. Everybody's talking about the transformation.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to another business coach, and they were saying, for my business, they were like, well, you took a very non-traditional field, of the balloon business, and you took that business into six figures, and that really should be your hook. And I had to pause, because I could do that. That would be fine. But here's the thing. I want to deal with the mindset part that has you leaving a job to go work a business to then be a slave to the business.
Mm-hmm.
I don't look at my success as that dollar amount. My success came when I was able to live a fulfilled life and have a successful business. That was the success part. Because I could tell you a million ways to get to that dollar amount, but you might not be happy.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to trust that, I love how you say the untraditional coach. You got to trust going off the beaten path, because it's not the beaten path. The beaten path is the path for everybody. That's the common path. It's easy to take that route in certain ways and hard in a whole lot of other ways. But there is a path that is tailor-made for you. And if we don't explore that, we really are missing out on our success. And, I didn't want to lean into that because I knew that that was going to bring me a client that I didn't want to work with. Because, like on the fitness world, you could give the transformation. I'd have been a whole lot of different sizes. Can you maintain it? Can you work through whatever you need to work through? Or are you looking for, because we're often looking for the get rich quick moment, the lose weight fast moment. And then 6 months from now, it's going to be like, if you took such and such, please call the law offices up. And
oh no.
there is that, no matter what you're doing, there's always going to be that mindset component to it. And we got to figure that stuff out. And sometimes that work is scary, but we got to figure it out because it's what gets us closer to where we want to be. Even though this other thing, the shiny object, sounds like it's going to get us there and it's going to get us there fast. But we gotta, we have to really figure out where is it that we want to be, because maybe that's not where we want to be. It looks like it on paper, it looks cute, but what I know for me personally, I'd rather be in a healed space than obtain a arbitrary goal that wasn't even my goal. It was a societal goal.
Totally get it. Yeah. Having systems and processes in place take time.
Yes.
So that you have a sustainably profitable business, it takes time. You can launch and have an amazing epic launch if you prepare with systems and processes and
Right.
have a blueprint. Like that's something that um when I first started creating Catchwise, so Catchwise Fitness is the model that I teach, but I was coaching in fitness for like years, not like years, for years. I don't know why I said that to myself. I had to, my inner Stephanie was like, "Excuse me."
Like, let's be clear.
You're not just disappointing me over here. But it took, so 2 months I spent, and all I did was just work on a launch blueprint. And the only thing that I criticize, and I mean, you don't know until you know, right? The only thing that I criticize is that I created a blueprint for a launch. I launched and I was like, now what?
Right.
I had to go get help in how to like keep the growth and to scale and create like those systems and processes. It's something like just quick mention. It's something that I make sure that anything that I create in the business coaching realm has not only a launch process but a scaling process. Like that you're not having like as soon as you launch, like, all right, we're going to look at growth strategies. We're going to
Right.
look at scaling strategy. We're going to look at sustainable strategy, like all this stuff. Because if you just, all right, you're so excited, you got this massive idea, and you finally come to fruition. Clients are here, and then it's just like, what I did during my launch is like most launches are not sustainable. Like if you do like like I'm talking one of, all right, we're open type launch, you can't do that every month. You can't create that high energy every month, but you can capitalize on those on scaling strategies like right away so that you can have that consistent growth. But dang, I don't even remember how we got over here. But yeah, like sustainable businesses take time. That was what it
Yeah.
was. It takes time.
No,
Take
it does. It takes time and it takes intentional action.
intentional.
That's
That's
that is one of my like that is my phrase, intentional action. people, you see businesses grow on Instagram, on social media, and you have to understand you are seeing a moment in time, a little blip, but you're not seeing all of the planning that went up until that point. Somebody may say, oh, launching soon, or whatever, but you're not seeing all of the work that's happening in the background. That's the work part. That's the the launch part. That's the fun part. That's the party after the work part has been done. And like you said, it's like you're leading up to this launch, but then what? How does it go from there? What is the process that you have in place to take in, these clients? What's going to happen afterwards? How are you then nurturing them to the next step? And, how is, what about the people that didn't buy at the launch? How
you just gonna ignore them?
Like, you just like, well, girl, you ain't get in on this, so you know what? Look, you should have jumped on.
Yeah, like, so something that back to like the community aspect. So you got your free and your paid. Your paid is your coaching program, right? The free, that's a free community, but it's still your community. Like, and even your clients see how you act in that community.
Right.
And be like, hey, you was just talking to me. Like, that's something I think about a lot. So when I do, hold on, let me finish my train of thoughts now.
Your brain works like that too. Okay.
Yeah. I was like, ooh. But your clients see how you act in your community, and if you are just or on their social media. So because a lot of my marketing is on social media, I'm talking to them. Let's say I'm on Instagram, I'm talking to them in DMs, like, yo, sis, all right, you win? Awesome. I'll see you on the inside. So I see them on the inside. What happened to that conversation?
Right.
Like, it's only on the inside. And I'm not saying out like go create be talking to your clients on in your paid community, in the free community, like all over the place all day every day. That's insane. That's not realistic. I'm just saying, don't forget that your community is still there and you can keep that conversation going. But what I do is I go to their stories at least once a week. At least, like, I do wish I could do more, but at least once a week, go to folks' stories and just reply, show them some love. Like, you would do it for your friends, right?
Right.
I think about my friend Tina, like, she always sharing real inspo reels and stuff, and I share those. I go and I share those to my clients, to like my community members, because like I don't know. I really do feel like social media is just a networking event with dope tribe members.
Right.
If you create it right, right?
Right.
Like, you could spam, you could literally spam your own Facebook group and have like a bunch of people that you don't even want to talk to. You need to scratch that and start over and create a bucket of like your ideal clients, whether they stay as prospects or become clients. Like, they're all in one place, and it's just like a dope party whenever you want to tap into it.
I love that. And yeah, it definitely is. Again, people feel like seen and they feel connected to you. And, one thing that I've, brought up a lot of times, and people don't, because when you said about your clients seeing how you interact, I see a lot of people, when they get frustrated, they're speaking to what they don't want instead of speaking to what they want. And I feel like just as much as you making those reach outs and everything builds community and builds connection. When you do that, it breaks connection, because you're posting this post and you got this whoever in mind who made you mad, but everybody's sitting there like, is she talking to me? what's happening right now? Because you're confused because everybody was vibing, the music was good, we was having good drinks, good food, and then you was like, so first of all, and we like, what's happening? Don't let somebody, don't let people get you off your square. You know what I'm saying? Like that, keep speaking to that person. And people who are not that person, they will excuse themselves. They will excuse themselves. They will just be like, you know what?
That's that beautiful unsubscribe.
That girl just keep talking all this positivity, and guess what? I can't handle this.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Like, it's getting on my nerves. And they will escort themselves out. It's so bad. It's like if you go to an event and they playing whatever music and that ain't your vibe.
Girl, I went to a whiskey tasting once. When I tell you, it was like going to a country music festival.
Oh Jesus! See, I would have laughed.
In the country, like it's not even like country music. I vibe with some mainstream,
on the surface. Right?
It was like me and my friend, only two people that look like us walking up in there.
I've been like, let me get this here drink, and then I'm gonna just go.
Like, we gotta at least stay and get our money's worth, right? That's what you always think of when you I gotta get my money's worth. We didn't. I don't think we got. It was just. But that's exactly what I mean. We exit stage left. Did we complain? No.
It just wasn't set up for me. It wasn't my vibe. You gave it the college try, and it just you was like.
Yeah, now we know. Now we know.
Not my space, but it's cute. It's cute, and I'm
It was nice. It was just not nice for me. It was nice. It was a dope event. It was a dope event for that person.
Right.
Right. So, yeah.
And that's the thing. We gotta stop worrying so much about, who we're not for. Because we got people who we for
that are calling for us,
right? Whoever was there with their cowboy boots on, and they they was probably having the time of their lives.
I'm just visualizing the picture, right? It's taking me out because it's just it is very. But do you think the owner of that event was studying us? No. Like,
because you weren't who they were targeting. You know what I'm saying? And
we not paying attention because later we looked and was like, oh, they tried to tell us multiple times.
Right. We just didn't pick up on the clues. We didn't, we missed it. But then that brings me to another point, because you made me think about a story, something that happened to me that was kind of similar. That also, is a call to the listeners. Go all in when you are putting out your messaging and putting out your branding. Go all into who you are trying to connect with. Had a similar situation. So me and my husband got married in the botanical gardens here. And one year on our anniversary, they do a summer concert series. And so I was like, well, that'll be cute. It's our anniversary. They're doing one actually on the anniversary day. It's at the place. That'll be so cute. Let's go. So we go, and we're like, at that time I was still working. So we are running a little bit late because, we're working. So we get there and there's like nowhere, we're trying to find a seat. There's no seats immediately available. We surveil the room. The average age of the room was probably about 72. And none of them looked like us. And I was just like,
interesting.
So one of the ladies said, oh, they had their little signature drink was the mint julep. So we get a little drink, and there was a seat like right up in the front next to this like older lady. So we sit over there. And first of all, this, you wouldn't think that this age group drink hard. They drink hard. I almost died. And I'm a pretty, I can hold my alcohol. I was like, oh Jesus. I'm like, how y'all still sitting up here with, like, because I'm just not interfering with your
What they do.
medication.
This is what they do.
I was like, so it was just so weird because I'm like, when I saw it, I would have assumed, I wasn't surprised that there wasn't that many people look like me, but I would have assumed a younger crowd. And I'm saying that to say, if this appeals to the Geritol generation, you just go strong with that, because that way, obviously something in there pulled them. They knew, but I did not. But go hard for who your audience is, because when you go wide, you might get people and you might not. When you go hard for who it is, you're going to fill up that room and it's going to be full of people who really want to be there.
Yeah, and they're gonna feel seen. When you talk, like I'm telling you, I don't know what it is. My dude says this a lot. He's like, I feel seen, and it's like special when you do that, and it's like when you niche down. I wish there was a better term. When you get really excited about your offer, so excited that the person that you're talking to feels seen, that is so powerful. Like people going, it's gonna be like a magnet. They're gonna be so attracted to you. Like I believe in client attraction, where
Mhm.
you just speak and people. And I know it sounds like some a crazy mystical thing or whatever, but yeah, there's some masculine energy of some things that you need to do. But when you show up, especially when you're walking in your purpose and your passion, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Seriously, they're gonna come in droves. I'm literally dealing, or not dealing with it, but like experiencing it with ads. I've been playing with ads lately. I was telling you about that, and how when I don't target, yeah, I open myself up to a lot of different people. But when I get real specific, I am now attracting people that are specifically geared to what I have to offer, number one. So when they see my ad, they come to me so excited.
Mhm.
Like they're seeing there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like all you saw was a little 10-second video of me, and you were like, oh my gosh, that's my person. Because I was literally talking. That's all I have to, because I'm not that fancy, creative, like artistic person with these reels and whatnot. I just talk. I just talk to you and tell you what my mission is and why, and folks are aligned to it, and throwing some little like throwing some purpose driven mission, because like I said, you weren't given this purpose unless it was meant to take care of you, so you're going to be taken care of. You just gotta trust it, that folks are gonna come to you when you get excited to like really really help that one person, not a whole community. Black women,
Right.
you want to help all black women. That's a lot of people.
Yes. Yes. Oh, definitely.
Right? I be like, that's cute. We love you, but
I know. I'm like, you're not finished. You're
yeah,
not finished.
you're not telling me. You gotta get a little bit more specific.
You're not finished. The thing that I've been saying to people lately when it comes to the ideal client, when they tell it to me, and they be so proud when they say it too, and I'll be like, that's cute. Can you see her?
Girl, that's a writer downer. Y'all better
Can
write.
you see her?
It's good.
If you can't physically see her, keep working at it. And I think that that's the thing, is that when things get hard, we kind of pull back. It's it's not that it's so many things that you need to be doing as a business owner. There are, in a different respect, but being able to see her is the most important thing that you can do. And so, just in the same way, it's kind of like keep going back to your self work until you are what you need to be, successful, you got to keep going back to that. Can you see her? And you got to keep going back to that, you know, what is my passion? What is my purpose? You have to, those, sound like really like, fluffy and idealized things, but those are the game changing things. Like those are the things, when I say work with ease, yes, I mean processes, and yes, I mean, systems, but building a process and a system without knowing those things, you're just making some stuff. I mean, you just making some stuff. It's cute, but it's those foundational things that we have to keep sitting in and keep churning and keep learning and keep, I'm still building and growing on the coaching side. So I'm in the process of like always trying to see her a little bit more on the huh?
I was like, still to this day.
Yeah, still, always, always, always. On the balloon side, I see her, but I have to keep seeing her. So now that I see her and I know her, I got to listen to her because she will tell me what I need to keep doing, what I need to get rid of, what I need to change. And I love what you said about client attraction. I don't do a lot of advertising. I don't do a lot of outside of posting my work, really. I don't do a lot on the balloon side. I do the things that she has told me is important to her.
I love that.
And it's not all the things. And I feel like it's so important to get to that point because as a business owner, it relieves you of some of that overwhelm as well. Because when people like, oh, well, you need to X, Y, and Z, oh, you're not on TikTok. My client not on TikTok, so why would I be on TikTok? On the coaching side, yeah, I'll do a TikTok, here and there. I mean, I can see my person being on TikTok on the coaching side. But on the balloon side, my client barely on social media. So they're not on TikTok, and they're not looking for me on TikTok. They might be looking for entertainment on TikTok, but they're not looking for me on TikTok because that's not where they're looking. But I know that because I know my client. Now, are there other people in the industry whose client is totally on TikTok? Yes. But I know where to focus my energy because I can see her. And, just to bring it back to the original topic, which we have hit. We hit it. It don't matter. We hit it. You pull the nuggets together. Listen to it 4 times if you got to. It's in there. But just to pull it back, to excitement, when you see her, the level of excitement on both sides automatically increases because it's not work anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's not work anymore to talk to her when you know what her love language is. It's not hard anymore. Because until you see her, you like, well, let me try this. Well, I must try that. And let me try, it's work. It's like, what's working, what's not working. It's a lot of research. All of that stuff goes into it. And that doesn't go away. But the more that you see her, the more intuitive it becomes. And the less it feels heavy. You're like, well, look, let me try this because I think she like this. And
feminine energy.
Yeah. And you get to live in that feminine energy. You don't have to. I'm like, most of my clients are female, right? For my balloon business. And I get a few male, but most of them are, cool. every once in a while I get that strong masculine energy and I'm like, yeah. So
What we gonna do is
look, like I'm like, I don't know how you got here, but we gonna have to, because I don't like them pulling me out of my energy. Cause it's like you come in with all these demands and rules and all, and I'm like, wait, who?
because you know who your target audience is, who your person is, you automatically aren't, because you, if you don't know your target audience, if you don't know like who your person is, that energy coming in can make you doubt yourself.
Right. Right. It makes you feel small. It makes you feel like you have a point to prove. And now I'm like, this is my house, friend. Um,
Yeah.
you want me to show you the door, or if you turn right back around the way you came in, you can go out that same way.
Mhm.
And and not feel any kind of way about it. And it builds, when you have that foundation together, it builds your confidence, because when we start out, we do have that kind of feeling of, anybody can rock us, but once you have that foundation in place, it's like it take a lot to get me off my square now. Like, you gotta come for me hard, like for me to feel that way, and even if I do feel that way, again, we go back to the community and the tribe, and knowing that you have that support, you have those client testimonials, you have those people that God sends in that moment that you won't cry, that make you cry a different cry, because they reaffirm that you may not be being successful at someone else's standard of what you should be, but
Mhm.
you're 100% successful at what you're supposed to be.
That's a bar right there. That's a message. That's beautiful. I totally agree. You gotta stand in your purpose. You gotta stand in your passion. You gotta stand in your mission, and know that it's going to take care of you. You just gotta believe. Like there's a lot of belief. There's a lot of the whole woo woo stuff, but it's real. We didn't get this far without believing in ourselves. You know, grab
Mm-hmm.
you a system, grab you a process, and keep it moving.
No, you got it, and it is exercising the faith muscle. It's exercising it hard sometimes. It's gonna get a full workout, I promise you. But you is just mustering up just enough confidence to keep pushing,
Mhm.
and to push past that doubt. And you know, I'm a full believer of a full range of emotions, but we have to place them properly. So just, just ask doubt, can confidence, ride in the front seat and drive the car for a little while, just for a little while. I like to let my confident self make decisions for me. Sometimes she go make decisions and then go sit down and I'm like, wait, we doing what? But she's the decision maker, because the rest of them, they unreliable. They're unreliable, but it is hard sometimes, and it does feel lonely, and it does feel dark sometimes when you like, is this really working? Is this really, but you have to keep, and bring it back to fitness. I mean, you can't go to that gym there one time and think it's about to, you about to fit in that dress. It's not gonna work like that. And sometimes it may feel like, man, I've been faithful to this for, months, and I ain't seen a pound come off yet. But maybe it's them inches, and maybe it's, maybe you're gonna have a big drop, like, next week. Like, you get on that scale and all of a sudden 10 pounds gone, and you like, wait.
What just happened? But it's
What
so true.
happened?
I that's so real because you could be doing the work for like months, right? And we can make parallels all the time in fitness and in business. In fitness, you could be literally running up. There goes happy. Happy. Okay.
Walter is usually right here in here, but he didn't come in today. He usually is laying right here next to me. So he would have jumped up as soon as your pup jumped up.
Oh, he just barked at somebody's here to change the filter. But dang, they took me right out of my thought. I forgot
You
what I was.
said that you were saying a parallel between fitness and business and how sometimes it may not feel like it's working.
Yeah, so like let's say you doing your workouts, you eating right for maybe even a month, 2 months. I don't know too many people that had the stamina of 2 months to not see results. But if you do, what happens is, and I say this a lot, like your body will literally your has to trust you again. Because how many diets have you been on? How many ups and downs? Like it'd be like she gonna do this for like a couple weeks. We can be patient. We need to hold on to this because she gonna
Look, by
start.
next Taco Tuesday, we having tacos.
Yeah,
That's all
like we good. She
I
ain't
know.
going somewhere. So let's just chill. We gonna chill here. We gonna give it let's say 2 months,
Right.
and then we'll start. Well, if she still continues on this path, then we'll do it. And this is back to like what we were talking about before we even started. This is with business and think you're doing the work and you're doing the work and you're not really seeing the results yet, and you're like, yo, I got about 1 more week of this, but the results are going to come in the second week. Like,
Right.
soon as you're about to quit is when the victory is going to happen. It's when the results start showing up because it was a test to your stamina.
That part. That part. And I think we have such, because of, social media, and we are seeing the end results of things, we have such a skewed expectation of how it goes. Like how, like something like, oh, this person, launched and immediately were successful. You don't know how many launches that person did before that. You don't know what work they did prior to make that such a successful launch. And when you do something and you don't see the results, it's like, oh my God, I'm a failure. And like a lot of times I'll hear people say, well, I'm giving up because X, Y, and Z. And my first question is, how long have you been doing it? And my second question is, what have you been doing? And most times the answer is somewhere shorter than 3 months. And what they've been doing has been wildly inconsistent. So it's like, what did you expect? But we have that skewed expectation. In a previous episode, I had on a branding expert, and she was talking about, she shifted her business to only doing, I think her smallest plan is 3 months, but her typical client she signs for a year. And she said the reason was people were signing up, and if the month passed and they weren't seeing results, and they're like, well, where's the results? And it's like, it takes time. Like, people have to see you, people have to, get comfortable with you. And again, like you said, like, your body has to trust you again. Your client has to trust you. Like, they're like, people pop up with businesses every 15 seconds.
Mhm.
So are you going to be here in 6 months?
I never even thought about that one. Yep.
People have to build that trust for you. And if you're not showing up and showing them consistency, then they like, people got trust issues. Let's just be real. People got,
Especially right now, this day and age, 100% on online. Doesn't mean that you can't like build an online business. It just means you gotta be authentic. You gotta be trustworthy. You gotta show up for them.
right. Nobody wants to be like, oh, well, yeah, well, she was a coach. And then, like, I was about to swipe, and then she had just went away, and now she braid hair, and you'd be like, what?
It happens though. You're right. You're right.
And then like you like, well, maybe, I need my hair braided. Let me check it out. And then you like, well, now she do some. All right, friend. Look, at this point, I'm like, I don't, because people also, back to the whole community and connection aspect, people want to feel like they're a part of something and they're not going to get abandoned. So if then you start to feel spammy at this point, because now it sounds like it's a hustle. It ain't this is not a passion.
Mhm.
You can't be connected to that many things. Like, you just can't. Like, I mean, I give you a few, but once we enter, thing 10, you're not deeply invested in that many different, wildly different things. Like, that's just not, like, this is just about, a dollar exchange at this point. Nobody wants to feel like that. Nobody wants to feel like the person, especially when you're talking about their health, their well-being, their business. Nobody wants to feel like you are just coming in and profiting without pouring something into the community.
Oh yeah. The energy exchange starts before you even ask for the sale.
Yeah.
100%.
So I'm going to wrap up, because we know we can go.
Literally, y'all, it was our
We
third.
know we can go, but I absolutely love it. I love meeting people that I connect to on that level, where I'm just like, I lose, sense of space and time, because that is the connection. And I mean, that brings, back to the whole point, is just, genuine connection has value.
Mhm.
Stop phoning it in.
Mhm.
Because people feel it. They like,
You
oh,
know,
there she go again.
this with her cookie cutter posts.
Right. Like, so just stop phoning it in. And yeah, when you write that little script, if you didn't write it, and I mean, I'm a believer of automation. I have automation in my business, but if you didn't write it based on that person that you can see,
Talking to, yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's not gonna feel it's not gonna feel connected. It's gonna feel like, okay, insert name here. Like, it's gonna feel like that. But before we do the wrap up questions, I just want to give you an opportunity. Is there anything else you want to share that you would feel like, if you got off this call and you didn't say it, you was like, oh my God, I should have said X, Y, and Z.
Oh man, I feel like those are the things I said. Um,
Oh, you look, you put a lot on the table, madam.
oh
Like,
man.
look, I got some mental notes for myself.
Oh, that's dope. I definitely did. I was like, let me wait to take notes. I will be watching this over and over again and taking my own notes. Um, it's just more of a summary. Like, don't don't kind of brush off social media because of what you see right now. There is a way to curate your news feed, curate your community. I'm talking about your community at large, not even just inside of a Facebook group, so that it's constantly filling you up. At my 26, y'all remember what happened in 2016 to Facebook and what was going on? What was going on my feed in 2016 is way different than what it looks like now. And I didn't get rid of no. I wasn't one of those that removed people. I just didn't. I can't. That's a story of another. I just didn't.
Mhm.
They are still there, but now because of the way that I target my or I curate my news feed, and curate my DMs and ignore literally anything else that does not reflect what I want to see. I like social media is like fun for me.
Mhm.
like coming to the party. Do I still get spammed? Do I still get stuff in the DMs? But I pleasantly ignore it. And I talk to people more in the DMs that I want to see in my news feed. So that's more of a nugget. You frustrated with your news feed and what you're seeing on your stories and whatnot. Look at who you're talking to in the DMs, and if it's not the people that you want to see in the news feed, fix it because it's the same for me. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. And yeah, I'm a follower. I am. I'm
there's
a
nothing wrong with it. I just
I'm a
didn't
unfollower. Same
like the
philosophy,
debate.
same philosophy, just a different approach. I'm just like, you know what? And it don't even have to be nothing deep. It just be like, you know what? Every time I see your name, I cringe.
Yeah, that
Let's
and
just stop. Let's just stop. But I love, because the topic was all about excitement. And when you said that, it made me think about in the morning, usually I spend a few minutes on social media, before I get started with everything. And I love waking up in the morning and looking at the positive messages that are there from my social media community. And then also, like I spend like the first 10 minutes of me being on social media just being like, congratulations, and wow, that's great. And it's because of the community that I keep. It's like everybody's doing something great. Everybody's, it's sharing positive energy. So yeah, like you said, like some people have this negative relationship with social media. I'm like, it don't bother me. You get to choose what you want to deal with in your social, in your business. You know, if something don't, if this person is client, this whatever, if it's not fun for you, you
yeah,
cannot. You can say, you know what? Because I do feel like the more fun and excitement that you're having, the more success you will have. Because it's attractive.
yeah. Oh yeah, that it's like a magnet.
It is.
Agreed.
All right, so I'm gonna get into, we ask these questions to every guest, so get ready. Um, Tell me about your favorite pajamas.
I have them on today. Um, they are Savage Fenty. It's like a onesie.
Okay,
I keep saying I'm gonna go back and get like 5 of these things. It's so comfortable. But yeah, it's just something comfy to wear, and I wear it a lot to work in my office. I love it.
I love it. Yeah, I like to be comfortable. Like some people like to, like they feel like they have to dress up to put themselves in a mindset to work, and I'm like, no, I gotta be comfortable. It opens up my creativity. Like,
I'm not thinking about nothing else. I'm not thinking about
no,
like, I'm looking at you right now, and I'm focused on what we're talking about. Not
right. I'm not trying to adjust nothing. I'm not trying
yeah.
to like, I'm not like, oh, what time can I take this off? Like, I just love it. I don't know. But so finish this sentence for me. My time freedom allows me to.
So I've listened to a few of your podcasts, and it literally just changed in my head. So I'm gonna share what changed. My time freedom allows me to just, it's gonna sound like I'm answering the question with a question, but like be free. Like I can spend my days however way I want to spend my days. If I want to go for a 2 hour long walk, I'm just kidding. I ain't doing that. But if I want to do that, I can. If I want to go shopping today, I can. If I want to clear my schedule and make
Yes,
it all about me, I can. You
I love
know,
that.
well, but you know me, my big avid traveler. If I don't stress about taking off the business, because of the way that I set up my business. So
I absolutely love that. My one of my good girlfriends from the group chat, um she'll say whenever she clears her date, she said, I pulled a Danielle today.
Day out today.
She's like, I pulled the Danielle today. I cleared everything off. I'm done. I'm like, and it makes me laugh because I'm like, that is, that is the influence that I want to have on people, is to really change our relationship with our time and our work, and know that we can still get it done. We can still make it happen, but it doesn't mean that we have to be buried. We don't have to. We could live
Yeah.
and travel.
And yes, live your best life. We first off, why did you create this business if it wasn't like going to fill you up, or if it's going to stress you out all the time? So, one of the first things that I do with my clients is give them a go through like a vision exercise so they have an
Hmm.
attachment to the number. Like, oh, okay, you want to make, everybody say, I want to make 10K a month. Okay, why?
Right. What do you?
Just to pay the bills? Because usually people make goals just for their bills. I'm like, I thought you said that you wanted to travel every other every other month. You want to do XYZ. You gonna be able to do that with the 5K a month?
Right.
You're calling. So yeah, you gotta have I call an attachment to your freedom number with
Yeah.
the
I have a similar process with the visualization, because we keep tying success to these like arbitrary benchmarks, but I'm like, what does that mean? Like, because for me, I stopped tying it to a number in that way. Like, I know the number in my head that, okay, this is the number that makes sure all the lights stay on. But but I stopped tying it to a number because the number is so arbitrary. Like, it's really, I feel that I'm successful when I can get up and go travel when I feel like it.
yeah.
When I can be assured that if there's some, like, something going on with my son, I can be there. When if I'm experiencing, trauma, life difficulty, I can just sit still. That, one of my coworkers when I used to work, she said this, and it hit me when she said it, but it, how something hit different later. And
Mm-hmm.
she said, the sad thing is that if you are, involved in the working world and all this stuff like that, you really don't have the opportunity to grieve.
That's actually, this is gonna open up a whole nother can of worms, but that was what my post was about yesterday. The one that I shared, that it took a lot for me to share. I was like, there was a time when I should have taken probably a month or two off, but I couldn't because of the situation that I was in. I had to go back to work 2 days later, and it made no sense. Where even the people at work were like, "What are you doing here?" And I'm like, "Well, give me my time off. Like, give me my time off. I need it." But even my business, I couldn't step away because I didn't create the systems in place in order for it to like sustain itself while I heal myself. And the post is about, which by the time it'll be all over the place, I'm sure of it. I'm holding myself accountable, but it's I created it in a way that when coaches start growing their business, you're growing it with the intention that if something happens, because it will, I'm sorry, like
It's life. Life is going life.
a life is going life, but you don't have to worry about your business while you handle life. You
Right.
know, like that's it's so crazy how they came up with it. But it just
But
it's
it's real, but it needed, but you know what? You sprinkled it and then it came back around because it needed to come out. And it's real. It's absolutely real of not, like a lot of stuff, happened, just awareness of stuff in the month of May. And May is like a very busy season for me in the balloon business. And I try to keep my stuff even till, but there are just certain seasons that are just busy and I know it and I go into it mentally prepared for that. But what I paid attention to in that season was, this is how I used to live my entire life. And so when things came up that I needed space for, I found a way to give myself a small amount of space, knowing that once it was over, I would have more space, right?
Mhm.
But in my previous iterations, wasn't that space. It was always, like what I call my busy season now is so light compared to what my regular life was
Mhm.
previously. And it's just that realization of, when you go through it from a different lens, like now just seeing like how detrimental that is, that, depending on what your options are, the world could, in your from your perspective, the world could end today and you still got to get up and keep operating tomorrow.
It's
you
true.
know, the rest of the world is fine. It's your world that
Yeah.
is,
A
you
bit
know,
just like life insurance, car insurance, it is literally your business needs to have its own like insurance, and that's why I believe like systems and process and blueprint, all that stuff is created so that when you can't really show up, that your business can still keep going.
yes,
Because the bills ain't gonna stop just because you need a break.
nope.
Like
And then even building it so, because for a lot of businesses, you may be the business, you physically as a human being
yeah,
person
that's what I'm
may
talking about.
be the business, but like you said, you have systems in place, those are helpful, but also the mindset shift that prepares you for knowing that sometimes you're going to have to step away from the business.
And it's okay.
And it's okay. I mean, COVID set everybody down.
And you don't want to be sat down. Like I feel like those situations happen
Nope.
where yes, that was a global scale, but you thinking about like on a micro scale, like a business owner that's working their tail off, working around the clock, you think you gonna sustain that much longer? It- Is you gonna get sat down?
You're going to get sat down. Oh, it's inevitable.
Yeah,
It's
it's
inevitable. But it's like you need to be, one, proactive to avoid that situation as much as possible. But two, think in a way that doesn't require that from you. So like when COVID shut down the events industry, right? I took that as an opportunity to lean into the coaching because it was something that I was putting on the back burner. And I was like, once the balloon business is, like I'm not a big believer of having two toddlers in my house at the same time. Like I got one child for a reason. I'm not changing two diapers. I'm not doing it. So I was like, once the balloon business is, where it's like, pretty sustainable, doesn't require a lot of my energy, then I want to dig deeper into the coaching. Well, then the balloon business got super busy and I still wasn't, leaning into the coaching. And then COVID happened. And I was like, okay, Lord, you said go this way. Okay, I'm gonna go this way. Right. So, but because I had thought about not a pandemic, of course, but thought about the fact that sometimes there are going to be seasons where either because business is slow, it's not there, because, something's going on in your personal life, it's not there, that you got to have reserves. You got to have, you have to have all of this in mind. We can't always operate off of just go, 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 go. You have to have all of that prepared in your mind. So it gave me the cushion to be able to be like, you know what, I got to leave this where it is right now and trust that it's gonna, do systems in place, do what it's gotta do. Had regular clients that were like, so we still having this event. And I'm like, it's against the law. All right, whatever. I ain't gonna ask you no questions. That's none of my business. But just, knowing that that's gonna do what it needs to do while I do what I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And, we, again, that trust in ourselves to build to that point. So we're ready. If something comes, like you say, because it's inevitable. If something comes up, we're ready and we can honor ourselves and honor our emotions and honor our needs in those times, because the way society is set up, there is no honor given. You just, that was nice. You get what the job give you 2 days of bereavement. They might send a card, and then your stuff gonna be waiting at your desk on day 3.
Exactly. Exactly. You gotta take care of yourself. You gotta prepare yourself.
And this may be the answer to question number 3, because we didn't start a whole new package.
I
Um,
told you, we just gotta do this again. That's all it
we're
is.
gonna have to do it again. Look, we ain't gonna be strangers.
Yeah.
Um, but the last question is, what's the best advice you give to anyone seeking the profits in pajamas lifestyle?
I was like, it does answer the same question. Oh man, I'm trying to think of a new one now.
You don't have to. If you feel like you already answered it, I feel like we did in that last piece. I just
100%.
want to put it out there if you
I'll
had
say it
something
a
new.
different way. Find your way of doing things. Actually, nah. Find your person. Find your person. The easy button that I've ever had was when I hired a coach. And y'all know who y'all talking, who y'all listening to. But honestly, the easy button that I ever put into my
Oh,
business was
Jesus.
when I attached myself to someone who did it before, what I wanted to do, did it before, and got what they did. Now, with that being said, because you can also walk further away from the profits in pajamas lifestyle if you get a blueprint that wasn't built for you. So a
Right.
lot of times I say, for those who are like, I've created Catch Spice and Fitness while I was working full time. And sometimes your blueprint that you're given was actually given to someone that has a ton of masculine energy and doesn't respect time or energy, family life, like all these other things, and your work life balance, right? So be okay with attaching yourself to someone that's going to help you get there, but add your own secret sauce in there.
Yeah.
Identify how you want to work within the confines of your blueprint, right? That's why it's dope to create a blueprint, but a blueprint isn't like don't feel constrained to only do that blueprint. Like
Right.
when my clients get all that icky feeling with something that I tell them to do, I want to flush that out first, like as to why. But the reason why I want to bring it up is because sometimes I have to tell them, hey, release it. Don't do it. You don't have to, right? Like there's so many ways to skin a cat, right? So it's just you don't need to always follow like the blueprint. That's the dope part about using your feminine energy. Flex it a little bit. So to summarize my answer, to really like um create that ease and flow in your business is grab yourself a blueprint from someone that's done it successfully before, and put systems and processes in place so that when life happens, you're good. Like imagine having like a plug and play, like a funnel system that
Right.
someone comes into your energy the week you're out on vacation. Let's go with the positive side. How about
Right.
you out on
Right.
vacation, you living your best life. Somebody come into your energy and grabs your free gift, your lead mat, whatever I call them cookies. Drop you dropped your cookies. I told you we gotta do it again. It's funny, but and you have like a plug and play system that takes them and takes care of them while you're taking care of yourself, right? That to me is profits in pajamas.
I love that. I absolutely, absolutely love that. I'm going to echo the, finding a coach and finding one that resonates with you. That was game changer for me as well. So like, I did the balloon business the hard way. I mean, I worked with some people. I'm, never gonna like, not say that I wasn't influenced by people and all of that type of stuff, but as far as building it out, I put my blood, sweat, and tears into that. I had a coaching coach in developing the coaching business, and I was like, wait, somebody could just tell you what to do, like,
And
huh?
keep on that step by step. Like this is what you do
I'm
next.
like, I just been out here doing this the hard way like a chump. Like, what was I thinking? Like, that is like golden. And the third part of what you said about um, you know, adapting, and what it made me think about, because I'm talking to you, is think about when you go and work out, like if they, if they're like when I was working out, when I had back injury out, so my trainer, he was like working with me and these two little guys that were high school students. They were like, on their sports team or whatever, and had an injury as well. And so we're working together, but I mean, I'm my years old and they, in high school.
Yes.
And so I'm a self-motivated person. So I'm like, oh, all right, we doing this. All right, we doing this. And then like certain stuff, I'm like, let me raise my sir, my body don't
You be like, what's the modification?
my body don't do this. So then he's like, okay, this is the modified exercise. You still can get the result, but it's coming from a different angle. It's customized to you and
Yeah.
what works for you. Certain things don't like I've had people different coaches like, oh well, on the balloon side, well, yeah, if you're looking to get with these certain clients, cold call. And I'm like, no, that don't sit with my spirit. Like, first of all, I don't like talking on the phone, and secondly,
No.
yeah, I don't like when people do that to me. So I just don't like it. You know what I'm saying? So that wasn't a fit for me. But then I was like, you know what? I can take this same concept. I don't mind receiving an email from somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's less intrusive. And it is, I feel like an email is not taking up that person's time. Like, I remember working in an office and people just popping up randomly like, oh, I'm selling copying machines, and I'm like, so I was in the middle of something. I didn't expect you to be here right now. I don't really want a copier, and I, like, bye. Like, but sending an email or sending them a little packet in the mail with a calendar or something like that, that's a totally different experience, because I've had people legit reply back, oh, I got this event coming up next month and I didn't know where to find somebody, So it was the same concept, but it was the way it was going to work for Danielle, because I wasn't about to call the people. I mean, let's just be real. I wasn't going to do that. So I love that part about the just modifying it to fit you, because I think some people try to duplicate their coach.
Yeah, you don't have to. You gotta put your own like the paid challenges that I teach now. My there and I've been through many a coaching programs and courses on it. No one, not one person has taught that, but it's what I came to this business with. So
Right.
I can't like why if I've been doing this for 5, 6, 7 years and I love it, and I enjoy it. Why wouldn't I spread and my people love it. My clients love it. Like they join maybe in the challenge. They'll be like, "Can I join this?" Yes, you can join the challenge. Just do your workouts that I gave you. Like,
Right.
they love it. So why would I scratch it? Even though the business coach that I had for when I was creating Catch Flights and Fitness wanted me to scratch it. was just like, "What are you doing? You don't do low." Like she was against it. Nothing wrong with her. That was her
But
opinion.
that was her way, and that was her path.
Yeah.
This is
And
your
I was
path.
like, yeah, and now it turns out to be the easy button for my clients. Like, I can't imagine if I look. I don't know. That's crazy.
No, and I mean, and then that brings it back to that, like that trusting yourself and that faith muscle, because you know what I tell myself now? See, I got all these like weird affirmations that I tell myself, God told me to. Can't nobody else tell me no different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could give me all the advice in the world, but if he told me to do this thing, who are you?
Oof, that
And
one.
and that's no disrespect, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had somebody who did not understand the concept of what I wanted to do, and they had me feeling some sort of way about it, and I was just like, I had to go back into the corner, and I pulled back for a minute. And like we said earlier, it was one of them times when them DMs came in. I was like, you know what? You on your journey, just like I'm on my journey. And sometimes we get it wrong. But guess what? I got to listen to God before I listen to you.
100%.
And I got to keep going. And I have to keep reminding myself of this. The calling, the purpose is higher than me and what feels comfortable, or the moments that I have doubt. I could doubt me, I can't doubt him. Like, that's just rude.
That's just rude.
That's just rude. He was like, you could do it, and I'm like, you sure?
I was thinking about you. They weren't given my vision. Like, I'm the only one that can see and understand this vision. So when you try and bounce it off to other people, yeah, like go get a coach that you, like you said, that resonates with you, that can give you a blueprint, and then one that can teach you how to modify it too is next level, right? Someone that's going to show you, okay, here's the system that works, but here's some other ideas you can do to play with it, right?
Right.
Oh, you don't like doing it? Okay, why don't you try
Well, come
this?
on, let's figure it out. Let's figure
Yeah,
out what works
yeah.
for you. And one thing I want to add to that though is knowing you.
Mm,
And sometimes it's the coach that's going to help you get there, to know you. But
mhm,
really getting to deeply know you, because I actually was having a conversation with my cousin yesterday about, trainers and stuff like that. And I need to get back with my trainer. I love him because I'm not good with the holler at me. Like, that's not me. I don't even listen to me sometimes. So I really am not going to listen to you hollering at me. So I know that about myself. I will be defiant just because I didn't like how you talked to me. Um, my trainer never, he's a sweet guy. He met me when I was in physical pain. So he always checks on me to make sure. He's like, okay, does this hurt your back? Does this hurt your back? And I'm like, no, I'm good. But I'm self-motivated. So if you tell me I got to do this, I'm just going to do it because you told me I got to do it. But I know myself enough to know when I can't. And it's not because it's hard or because I'm tired. It's because I really can't. Like, this physically hurts and I can't. And so knowing that difference is important too when you're working with a coach, or when you're working, um when you are just even working towards your journey, because nobody else knows that inside but you. And I could easily say I can't when I don't feel like it, if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? I could easily be like, I can't do squats. I just can't. I can do that if I don't want to do it, right? But I know where my line is. So, like, knowing, like you said, when this thing is not going to work for me, or this thing will work for me, knowing that and being able to stand up for that. Because sometimes you got to push back on your coach.
Standing up for yourself is a big, because how are they gonna help coach you if you don't tell them?
Right. If you don't, because they don't know that inside. They're getting to know you, but if you never vocalize it, they don't know it. Like I always tell my coaches, my trainer, whoever it is, I'm about to tell you right now. I'm gonna tell myself right now, I don't like doing this and this. I'm gonna tell you at the beginning because I want you to call me out when I'm not doing the thing that you know is that I don't want to, versus I don't think it's a fit. That's two different things.
Yeah, and you can physically do it. You just don't want to do it.
That part.
I don't want to run, but I do it sometimes.
I ain't there yet.
We won't go down that route.
I ain't there yet. The Lord ain't done with me yet. We just gonna keep on moving. We gonna keep on moving. So how do the people how do people get in touch with you? But even before we get to that, what is it that you have going on that, back to, because I'm gonna push this topic that you're excited about, that you want the audience to know and connect with?
Oh man, I'm excited for the levels in my business that I'm creating. I've always said that I wanted to be a one-stop shop. That's why I created the P3, where we take you from launching, growing to scaling your online fitness coaching business. And then we just created, oh my gosh, like y'all, this is the first time that I've talked about this out loud since yesterday's post was yesterday's post, right? So you're getting the exclusive announcement of P3 Integrate, which is built for fitness coaches who want to create systems and processes in their business. Not just like, I love a good funnel. Listen, not just a plug and play type funnel, but even building a team that when life happens, your business is already prepared to let you just live. Like I don't want to say it's always something bad that might happen or negative. Listen, I'm a big traveler. One day I'm gonna go to Greece and I'm gonna spend a month there and not be thinking about my business. I said it.
No, I'm sorry. I'm saying I my mouth open because that's my next dream destination.
Yes. Okay, well, I'll hit you up.
Okay. Go ahead.
But how y'all can even learn about all this? I just wanted to give y'all a preview because I kept promising myself I'm gonna talk about it. I'm really and when you said excited about, I had to, like, I'm so excited. I'm almost getting emotional right now. But if you are a fitness coach or you aspire to be a fitness coach in the online space, I don't want you to feel like you can't you can't do this without that blueprint, right? I got you. All you gotta do is go to growyouronlinefitbiz.com/podcast, and I've got a couple of options for you. I have a training that shows you how to create that blueprint, that online fitness business blueprint, as well as a live class that I host, where you're going to learn how to use a paid fitness challenge to launch your high ticket coaching program and attract those, like, ideal, excited clients who are just ready to join your community. That's what I got for you guys.
That is so awesome. And I'm definitely going to have that in the show notes so you guys can click on it and get connected. So I love, this is one of my favorite things, is to watch people talk about stuff that geeks them out. Like, and because I mean, it's like you like smiling, we seeing all the teeth. Like, it's just, but it really brings home, because when we did our pre-interview and you were talking about the idea of excitement in your offer, I was like, you know what? I just like watching that. Like I like in life, I just like watching that. And I never thought about it as, a tool in your business. And so I'm so glad that you came and you brought that to us, because it really is. It makes you excited. Like, whether you are that person's ideal client or not, you still just like, oh my God, like, it's beneficial for that ideal client, of course, because they feel seen, but other people connect with that energy. And it's like, I might not be the person, but I'm so excited to tell somebody else about it. Be like, girl, I know how much you want to be a fitness coach. Let me tell you, like you get drawn into the excitement. So guys, I want y'all to really start thinking about that in your businesses and bringing that excitement to your business, the community aspect. Oh my God, like I'm such a big believer of community, and I'm just like, man, I got a whole blind spot over here. I gotta go deal. I got some homework to do. Got some homework to do, but I'm gonna do it, and I'm excited about it because the perspective has changed. The perspective is, you know what? No, this is gonna be just like you. You know, you're a Southern hospitality girl. It's gonna be just like you welcoming people anywhere else. You know, and don't worry about all of the other nonsense that's out there. Just know that you're coming from a genuine place, and how somebody receives it, that's on them, but you are bringing it from a genuine place. So, and then making that connection with your clients, your paid clients as well, because that connection makes a difference, in it not being transactional. Now you're their person. They're not looking for a fill in the blank. They're looking for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. It will not be our last conversation. I am so excited, you know, for you to join this community of people. And oh my goodness, I'm just so grateful for you being here and sharing your energy with us and feeding us today.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm so grateful for it as well.
All right, guys, I'm going to cut this. I can't say short because we've been on here, but y'all know how we do. Don't worry about that. Y'all got some
Okay.
gems, some jewels, some everything. Y'all about to be dolled up. So thank you for being here. Go and check out everything that Stefanie has to offer. Go ahead and follow her, because I know you love her energy and you're gonna just want to stay in that space. I will also share how you can connect with me in the show notes if you want to work with me, or if you want to join one of the challenges that we're going to have going on this summer. So we're going to be rotating between the Capable and Confident Challenge, which is working against imposter syndrome. And then we're also going to be doing the Calendar Detox Challenge, so that we can get some of that unnecessary stuff off of our calendar, so we can be living these, you know, lives we want to live, and book these trips and do all these things that we want to have our fulfilled lives. So with that, I'm going to bid y'all a good day, and I will see you next week.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I hope you got some great tips to start working with ease. Want to stay connected? Follow me at Your Workflow on Instagram. For more information about building your luxury brand, register for my upcoming luxury brand workshop at CoachDanniD.com.